Hello, today our talented blacksmith, Alexei, is going to demonstrate how to forge three-dimensional leaves from sheet metal. Here you can see some of his finished product. These elegant leaves can be used on a number of blacksmithing projects, such as railings, wall mirrors, chair legs, and table legs, any place you wish to add a touch of elegance and class. The process begins by cutting the basic form of the leaf out of sheet metal, which is then placed in the forge to heat it. The first step we're going to demonstrate is forging the raised oval side leaves. This process begins by using a swage block on the power hammer. Here Alexei carefully takes the heated sheet metal out of the forge, places it over the swage block, and uses a rounded chasing tool to create the oval form. He carefully rotates the swage to make sure that the form is even on both sides. Here you can see Alexei repeating the process with the other side leaf. Note that when using the power hammer, it is important to make sure that your blows are firm but not too strong, as you may sever the handle of your chasing tool. Again, he rotates the swage block to ensure an even shape. The next step in the process is to carefully fold over the edge of the leaf where it meets the stem. You can see Alexei starts this process on a hardy hole tool. He then moves over to a chisel secured upright in a vise to give the leaf a deeper fold. He uses a chasing hammer to get an overall rounded, well-finished look. It is important to note, when doing this step, that you should not strike the metal where it is resting on the chisel, but rather off to the side of the chisel so that the metal can bend away from the chisel and flex downward. The next step in the process is folding over the metal on the outside edge of the leaf. This process is very similar to folding over the metal where the stem and the leaf join. Here you can see Alexei taking the hot leaf and placing it back over the chisel. With glancing blows, he carefully folds over the outside edge of the leaf. Now he places the corners of the leaf on a cone-shaped hardy tool to give them a more rounded and natural appearance. Now we're going to erase the inside edge of the leaf, repeating the same process as before. Alexei carefully positions the edge of the leaf on the chisel and with glancing blows, again deforms the leaf, creating a decorative groove around the outside edge. Again, he places the corner on the hardy hole tool to give it a more rounded, natural appearance. Here you can see how the edges of the leaf have been folded over to give it a decorative appearance. Now Alexei is carefully flattening out the area where all three of the leaves join. The next step in the process is going to be to raise the central section of the leaf, creating a strong spine. This process is accomplished with the use of a narrow swage block on the power hammer. Placing the leaf in the groove and using a very narrow wedge-shaped chasing tool, Alexei carefully creates a depressed spine for the leaf. Now it is necessary to use a small circular swage block on the anvil to flatten out an area where the three leaves join. By depressing this area, it will be possible to wrap these leaves around a chair leg or the corner of a table or mirror and weld them securely. Here he uses another shallow swage block to create the form of a spine throughout the stem of the leaf. We go back to the small circular swage block. This gives a more rounded appearance to the two side leaves. Now we are bending over the tip of the leaf, creating the curved shape. We start this process on a hardy hole tool, and then we finish it over the horn of the anvil. You can see Alexei here curling the tip around the horn of the anvil. After reheating the leaf, a curl can be added at the tip using pliers. Here we can see Alexei truing up and tightening up the curl at the tip of the leaf on the anvil with a hammer. Here we are in the final stage of the project. Alexei places the center of the leaf where the 3 leaves join over the cone-shaped hardy hole tool, and then gently sets down the front of the leaf, tapping on either side of the spine so as not to deform it. Now Alexei is using the edge of a rounded hardy tool to close up the gap between the 2 side leaves, making sure they are evenly spaced in relationship to the center leaf. He's now checking its straightness and correcting as necessary. Here you can see the finished project, a beautiful hand-forged leaf.